Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for another Saturday evening edition of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at Cracking Cryptocurrency. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from. Of course, Easter is coming, guys. It is the evening before Easter, and all through the house, not a Bitcoin was stirring, except to the downside currently right now. All right, guys, so hope you guys are doing well. Let us scroll up, man, and see who's in here this evening, man. I got Cruz CIT. What's going on with you, good friend? Cannon Man, David Rice, Ionut, Valentine. I hope I pronounced that right. Let's see. Heard Ferguson. Good to see you, my good friend. Jorge Pacheco, Keel Wilson, Blake Wright, Crypto Meister tuning in from Twitch. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for supporting the Twitch stream. GPE Can too. Let's see here. Sitting right on the 4-hour itchy. Ron Legato, good to see you, man. Crypto Caveman, good to see you as well, guys. If you guys have any questions or requests, make sure to throw them in the chat and we'll get to them as promptly as possible. A little bit of digression. We're going to talk, as we often do on the show, about psychology, about proper trading setup, about discipline, about risk management and position sizing. But today was a pretty interesting day, guys. As you know, I am a father. So Saturdays, I'm often, the life of a trader can be stressful, okay? Especially one such as myself. I earn my primary income from trading, and I run the mentorship program, the Premium Trading Group. So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a professional trader, and that can be a difficult lifestyle to accommodate your family. I'll just tell you this, guys. And it gets better over time, but I work a lot. I work a lot, and there's a lot of students that I mentor. There's a lot of there's charts that I'm watching all the time. There's markets that I'm trading. There's books that I'm writing. There's videos that I'm shooting. There's courses that I'm writing. I'm always looking at the news and trying to develop the show for the next day, as well as trying to have somewhat of a limited social life and spend time with my children. So today, took my 9-year-old out, taught him how to change oil. That was a good one. Made some life-changing purchases. All right, let's see. Was in Niagara Falls yesterday. Seen a bunch of your peoples. Hey, man. We're all pink on the inside, bro. Can you feel it dumping in the air tonight? Fox Trader. Yo, 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 my master. You are the good ones always. Thank you so much, Fox. All right. So not much going on with me. Not a lot of active trading today. There were some limit orders that I had set for some calls that I had made in the premium group. Got a few of those filled. Happy with that. Again, kind of challenging you guys to let the market come to you. You don't have to aggressively market enter into any position. Held my shorts open throughout the night, the ones that I had positioned. And things are looking pretty good so far. Not overly concerned with anything. I do like this last hourly red candle. And what I really like about the way that price is evolving, and let's actually get over to the chart so that I'm not just talking right here. Crypto Meister says, the Walton Chain breaker zone to compare my work against, please. Yeah, of course, man. Raymond Cheek, I'm getting yelled at by my daughter as we speak and the boss. Well, luckily I have, my name is something like Johnny there. Okay, I'll call you Johnny, my good friend. I like that. I like Johnnies. Okay, shout out to Johnny Boy Crypto from Why Crypto Daily. Is Ethereum USD all right? Yes, it is. Let's get over to the charts, guys. Okay, here we are. Here we are in the live scene. Okay. And just taking a look, hopefully you can see it a little bit behind there. But yeah, a red day on BitMEX overall. Justin, how is your opinion about Deribit until now? So I have recently begun trading on Deribit with about 10% of the capital they have on BitMEX. I quite like it. I quite like it. Let me just... So on Deribit, what I really like about Deribit is that it uses leverage appropriately. It does force you to be at 100x leverage all the time unless I don't properly understand the platform. But that scares people. Like a lot, I've told that to people and they think, whoa, 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 whoa. No, it's not like BitMEX leverage because it's not isolated margin. You have to trade cross margin on Deribit. And that's actually quite normal. So from somebody who used to trade with leverage on a Wanda, actually forex.com before the Swissy crash, and I wasn't. That was after I was out of the market. So having on forex, I would always set my leverage to 20x, sometimes 40x. That's if I wanted to keep less capital on an exchange. But the purpose of leverage, as I was explaining yesterday, and as I explain in my videos that the premium subscribers have access to, I go in depth on nuances of the market. As I talked about, leverage is not there for you to take additional risk or take on a larger position size than your account would allow you to. It's there to allow you to keep less capital on deposit and still take the correct position size pursuant to your portfolio, pursuant to your total capital. So this is especially pertinent when it comes to cryptocurrency because, of course, not your keys, not your cryptocurrency. So whenever you deposit funds onto an exchange, you are essentially, you don't actually own, that's not your crypto anymore. That is the exchange's cryptocurrency because they have the private keys to it. So there's no government that you can call, there's no police force that you can call, there's no customer service hotline that you can call to get your funds back because again, you can't. The only way that you could force them to do it is potentially at the point of a gun, but that's still that's still not a guarantee they could, take the bullet, for example, right? And that's why, we invented cryptocurrencies in the first place, so that if you had your private key, you would have full access. Now, honestly, is that the best solution to, what's the word I'm looking for? To digital ownership? No, it's not, right? Because, a true solution would be something akin to will, right? So if you had your private key, and it literally had to be like your mental signature, something like your fingerprint, but fingerprints can be spoofed, something that is beyond current technology that we have available, but that we are on the brink of, right? So having to memorize like a physical key, a long string of numbers, I don't think that that's how it's going to be moving forward. There does need to be a more elegant solution, but for what we have right now, that's good. It is if you are fairly savvy, and you don't have to be very savvy. It takes a few hours of research, right, to just walk you through the best practice of securing, generating a private key and keeping a private key secure. It's not difficult to keep your cryptocurrency secure and to never expose your private key to the public domain. It's very easy to do that. You just need to know how to do the steps correctly, right? This is why things like digital privacy, anonymity, these things are important. So getting back to the topic of leverage, leverage is not there for you to take risk that you shouldn't be taking. Most people use leverage at BitMEX like a kid in a candy store. They use leverage as an excuse to try to continue to feed their I'm going to get rich quick overnight fantasy instead of the professional trader reality, which is slow, steady, patient, profitable growth over time, because I'm going to be doing this for a lifetime. It doesn't matter if you're trying to do this professionally full time, because as I've talked about, even if if you're coming into this thinking that you're going to just pay all your bills and do fantastically well with, $500 scalping BitMEX, you're insane. You're delusional. And anybody that's out there telling you that's going to happen for you is a con man. They're lying to you. The reality of the situation is that if you want to live off the proceeds of your trading, you're going to need a fairly decent sized account, right? Somewhere in the order of 50 to 100,000. Because you're only aiming for 20 to 30% return a year on equity. That's a realistic trader goal. Now, can you get better returns from that with cryptocurrency? Absolutely, yes, you can. You can get fantastic returns. We blew that out of the water 2017. We've blown that out of the water 2019. But that's not the point. That wasn't expected, right? We didn't assume that. I didn't assume that. I assumed to trade patiently, strategically, correctly, the right way over time, and I will grow my account naturally over time. And if you don't have a lot of capital, that's not the only way that you can make a living as a professional trader. Trading your own money. You can trade other people's money if you put the time and the grind in to develop a profitable trading strategy that's going to be with you the rest of your life. I don't care what people don't listen to people out there on crypto Twitter. They're like, oh, you got to have a degree. No. Forex, cryptocurrency, there are crypto hedge funds out there that are desperate for good traders that can show them, hey, look, here's this account statement. For the last year, I was able to generate 40% return on equity, right? And they've got crypto that's just sitting there. And if you can take that crypto and make 40% a year on it while that's already part of their portfolio, they're going to say, yes, thumbs up. Same with Forex. There's prop desks out there that are looking for profitable traders. And if you are a little entrepreneurial and able to shop your skills around, those opportunities are out there. Now, are you going to be able to get a job at Goldman Sachs without going the blue chip route? Probably not. You're going to have to be Bradley Cooper from Limitless to most likely do that. But that is the goal. That is the reality out there for most traders that don't have a lot of capital. So that is definitely a reality. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do that. If that's what you want to do with your life, then stop focusing on this, I'm going to get rich quick overnight insanity, and focus on building a strategy that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. All right, roll up, man. So I quite like Deribit. I quite like Deribit. Again, like I was saying yesterday, the only thing that's different from Deribit and BitMEX is that BitMEX allows you to deposit XBT and then trade altcoin pairings. Basically, you're trading like Ethereum XBT, you're trading, Tron XBT, you're trading Litecoin XBT. With Deribit, you can only trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. And to trade Bitcoin, you have to deposit Bitcoin. To trade Ethereum, you have to deposit Ethereum, right? Is Cardano a good buy zone? Please look at ADA. All right, we will look at ADA. Listening while I ride to son's soccer game. Good to hear, Casey Taylor. Thank you, man. David Rice says ADA is a good buy at $13.95. Which way will Bitcoin most likely break? I will make money if it goes down. I will lose money if it goes up. Excuse me. Ricky Thompson says, I use leverage every day, shorting stocks. It allows you to take a position with less capital. If used properly or know how to use, it's not a bad thing. No, it's great. Power to Achieve. I like the title. Thank you, man. 100% homemade Gorelu Nusky. Don't know what Gorelu Nusky is. Is that a sexual reference? Or is that a delicious Filipino dish? Find out. Oh, yeah. Yep. Looks like, let's see. Seems like porn. It seems like some banana porn stuff. That's what came up. Home treatment tips. Well, shout out to you, man. No wonder you've got 1.2 million subscribers. Stuff looks like it's going to change your love life for the better. What do I think about bump and run reversal bottoming on BTC? Yeah, so I read the bump and run reversal article. Actually, one of my teammates brought it up and we did talk about that and we posted our thoughts on it. We posted our thoughts on that to the premium subscribers. Okay, like, listen, it's just yet another one of these, if like, could be, possibly, potentially, look at these fractals, they line up. It's, that stuff is great for two things. A, in hindsight, okay, and well, like after it's already happened. And B, well, okay, maybe they're good for three things. So two negatives, one potentially positive. So they're great in hindsight. Like after they've already happened, I guarantee you, if that bump and run, if we get a movement off of that, like the majority of crypto Twitter is going to be there and being like, I told you, like it was the bump and run, man, like everybody. Okay, but you never, ever, 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 ever said anything about bump and run before. You read a news article. That was most likely the first time that you heard about that. And keep in mind, I'm not directly talking to the person who made this comment. I'm just speaking broadly about my thoughts. Whenever you get like a meme, like that's a meme, the bump and run thing, it's a meme. Just like you know, the compound wet, or the compound what call that, Peter whatever his name, the compound wedge, or the compound fulcrum, right? You know, not Peter Schiff, that like washed up chartist who everybody thinks Peter Brandt. Yeah, Peter Brandt. He was posting when we were at 6K that it was a compound fulcrum. We're going to break out. Everybody was talking about that, blah, 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 blah. And then just a few days ago, everybody was talking about the golden cross. And now today, everybody's talking about the bump and run. And in a few days, we're going to be talking about another meme, right? None of that stuff, I don't care about any of that stuff, because that's all in the realm of like analysis, stuff that you're going to see on CNBC, stuff that people who aren't traders are going to make news posts of, things that people are going to like argue about over Twitter. So I'm not here to be right. I'm here to make money. That's the only thing I care about, is making money, is pushing my will into the market, waiting for a setup, taking a setup, and profiting. That's the point. So yeah, like I looked at the bump and run, like, yeah, sure. Like if it requires you to assume things. Like, it requires you to assume that it's premise. It requires you to accept a premise. I don't like accepting premises. This is why I'm really popular at dinner parties, because I'm a fun guy. But this is why a lot of people who want to be right don't like to argue with me, or don't like to have conversations. Because a lot of people have been brainwashed into accepting premises that they then build what they think are logical arguments on top of that. And they are logical arguments if you accept these underlying premises that they're not willing to argue the merits of. So I always like to go back to, okay, I'm with you, but the only way that your argument is logical or makes sense or is valid is if we accept it. You're trying to slide all this stuff under the door, right? You're trying to be like, hey, look at this, it makes sense. But for this to make sense, I'm trying to slip something past the gate. You're trying to slip something past the gatekeeper here of your brain functioning properly. So just something that I've noticed. And, and in the context of the bump and run, it's the premise that you have to accept is that this is going to work this time, every time this happens. But here's the thing, chart patterns, analysis of chart patterns like that, they're highly subjective. So you are going to find hundreds of opportunities or examples where you will see a setup that somebody could point to and be like, that's a bump and run, bro. and it didn't pan out. You're going to find hundreds of those, and you're going to find hundreds where it did work out. So you would have to actually backtest it, right? I don't want to backtest it because I don't backtest trading chart patterns because they're not objective, right? They're completely subjective. So what you can backtest is anything with a rule, right? Like I'm only going to trade a candlestick pattern that looks like this. I'm only going to trade my technical indicators this way. I'm only going to trade a spike in volume this way. I'm going to exit my trade if this happens. I'm going to take a loss if this happens. Anything that has that structure, you can backtest and then see, okay, does this have an edge in the market if executed robotically? And that's what you're shooting for. And it won't take you much longer than 6 months to a year to build that strategy. I mean, because you're going to be able to figure out what works and what doesn't, right? Like, for example, like take what I have on the chart, right? You know, you guys, for those of you who've been following the show for a while, you guys know I use average true range for an initial stop and target system. You guys know that I use time transformation, which is based heavily off Fisher transform. So you use Fisher transform. You guys know that I use Wada-Tar. You guys know that I use moving averages and Ichimoku, right? So, okay, so you need something to tell you to get in. You need something to tell you, yeah, go ahead. It's sure, like to confirm you're getting in. You need something to tell you when to be out of the market. You need to have a consistent, objective method of taking profit. You need to have a consistent, objective method of taking a loss. And then you need to calculate position sizing. So with a little bit of Googling, you'll be able to figure most of that out. It's going to take you 6 months to a year. If you don't want it to take a year, if you'd like it to take 6 months, or if you'd like to take it to 3 months, if you want to be very, very serious. And again, I don't want to be disingenuous, right? Because every individual is going to be different. But if you want help, you guys can check the link at the top of the screen. I'd be happy to mentor you, and I can show you how to trade the way that I trade, because I know that my way works. And I will also help you develop your own method. But just as, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, the bump and run thing's a meme. Pablo Escobar says it's going to be microchip, man. Frozen Niche says, how do I manage risk? What percentage should I be investing? So the way that I manage risk is that I have a risk percentage, right? And so what that means is, of my capital, how much am I willing to lose per trade? Okay. So if your number is 5 or 10%, you're gonna be 50% down. So let's say you're willing to lose 5% per trade. Okay, 10 trades, you're down 50% of your capital, your total capital, your whole stack. That's not good. I find the magic number to be between 1 and 3%. I think that's the golden ratio right there. So 2 would seem to be fantastic, and that's often what I recommend. Personally, I do 3 because I have a very high hit rate with my strategy, but that's okay. There are some times that I take L's, so that's okay. So, but overall, my equity curve at the end of the year, for the last, since I've been trading cryptocurrency, and the last 2 years trading Forex, so really for the last 5 years, excuse me, has been great. So I digress. I mean, you can also say, okay, of my entire capital, I'm going to put 3% per trade. I don't like that because I don't think that it's right. So with the use of leverage on, BitMEX or Deribit or Bybit, which is, I think, where people should be trading. I don't think they should be afraid of it. I think that's the place to trade. Those are the places to trade. Other than that, you can trade Binance. Now, listen, that's not to say that there isn't the dark, seedy underbelly of cryptocurrency that I'm really not in. Like, you're getting into the realm of like pump and dump groups and, developers and things like that. And honestly, I just prefer to stay out of that because it's risky. And when you start getting a larger amount of capital, like, I'm just not like that stuff is out there. So what I'm talking about is like, okay, going onto these like small, tiny exchanges, like, Cryptopia, we saw that worked out, like picking up coins on the cheap. And then the smart thing is to like go there, pick these like random obscure coins up, throw them in cold storage, and then wait to see if they get listed on a major exchange. Now there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, I would encourage you to do that with a small portion of your portfolio. But as far as trading on some of these small exchanges, because there's the possibility that you're going to get like this random pump and dump, suicide, man. Not a good way, not a good strategy for success. Ricky Thompson says, leverage allows you to build your account, manage risk by account sizing. When you take a position, learn account sizing or position sizing. Absolutely right. That's the most important thing. The leverage that you use doesn't really matter. That's why, so you got, this is pretty common knowledge. Like so for people who join the trading group, like I get asked a lot, like, hey man, can you go check out what these guys are doing in this group? Or, can you go check out what this paid group is doing or whatever. And I have no problem with like, okay, we'll go see like what their signals look like. And the majority, like just about everything that you're gonna find on Telegram, because I just know this from experience, they all suck, dude. Like they all suck. You know, they post, and you can tell right away if a trading signal sucks or if the person who's trading it is trying to deceive you, if they recommend what amount of leverage to use, because that is deceit. Because what they're basically telling you is, hey man, this signal is golden, man. 25x, dude. You know what that means? That means like whatever like regular position size you're like, take on a huge position size with 25x leverage. It's retarded. It's the dumbest thing. If you see that, or somebody's talking to you, or you're interested in receiving like trading advice from somebody and they're recommending the leverage that you should use like per trade, run away. Like run in the opposite direction. Because because that means that they don't have a firm grasp and understanding of position sizing. Like it's not, the leverage doesn't matter. It's the position size that you put on congruent to how much capital that you have. And then it doesn't matter what leverage you use. As long as your liquidation price is below your stop loss if you're going long, or above your stop loss if you're going short, you're going to be okay. Now, obviously, you guys know trading on a platform like BitMEX, you're going to get these big fuck you wicks sometimes. Doesn't always happen, but it happens frequently enough that it's an issue, that it's a problem. So for that very reason, that's why I'm experimenting with Deribit and Bybit. Again, I've been trading on Deribit for a little bit now with small capital, and I quite like it. Like I quite like it. That I pointed this out, so I haven't even like looked at the chart since we. So on BitMEX, right, like this wick right here, this wick right here on the 16th, which actually like initially had filled all my short orders, right? Okay. This didn't happen. This didn't happen on Deribit. Okay, like on Deribit, price came up to here, and then this didn't happen. So I would much rather trade there. Like you have a chance. You can make money on Deribit. And if you're a retail trader, the liquidity's fine. Heck, on Bybit, the liquidity's fine. I quite like Bybit too. Still experimenting with that one though. So I'll keep you guys posted kind of on my journey here. I just don't know where to start when I try to build a strategy. Okay, so that's deep, because that's actually what I'm doing my whole video series on, that's beginning in May for this, like step-by-step instructions on how to build an if this then that strategy. If you guys want access to that, the link's always at the top of the screen. It's not about account size, it's about sizing when you take a position correct. My head isn't as shiny today. Nah, man, you know, Easter is coming. I've been busy with family. I need to shave my head, bro. 100% homemade. I responded to your question at length, my good friend. Hitesh Shukla says, please look at the Ethereum USD BitMEX contract. What's up, bro? Minister C Politics. Crypto Meister, Notre Dame was an inside job. Changed my mind. You know, here's the thing, man. I've been really busy, and I really quite like people like Molyneux and Crowder and things like that. I haven't had any time to consume content, man. If it hasn't been like trading, it hasn't been going through my brain stream. Sir, but this is also possible that bull run that happened in 2013 was way faster than 2017. Is it possible to repeat the same bull run like 2013 as more people are now waiting for buying low? So again, I don't believe in fractals, but okay, like let's look at the broader picture, okay? So hopefully this will answer your question. So let's go to Bitstamp on the weekly, right? Okay. So okay, let's look at okay. So, okay, so keep in mind that I don't believe that you can really use this data to make like long-term price predictions. It's possible, but the market is so different right now that trading technical analysis works fantastic for taking asymmetric risk defined, or so strategic asymmetric risk to reward potential setups. That's it, right? Technical analysis does not predict the future. Doesn't do well for doing that, right? Technical analysis gives you an objective method to enter and exit trades. And it works better than any system I've ever come across, period, point blank period. Because again, it's something that's objective, right? The idea of using technical analysis to predict the future is predicated on wishes and fishes, dreams and bitches. So I'm sorry for my French, man. It's Saturday, man. It's the evening. I'm cutting loose. So anyways, but let's, for the sake of argument, like let's assume that we can find similarities in the market structure, right? So here's the, I guess the first bear market, I guess. So as far as we can go back on the Bitstamp chart. So from August 2011, price just descends until it eventually finds its bottom on the 20th of November 11th. Actually, the lowest that we actually traded was on the 19th of October 2011. But then we have this, crazy, like massive, huge wackadoodle pump. But the liquidity in the books were so thin. And here on the daily, so here is our first, this is, I guess you could call this our first, bull run, right? We go up 232%. And then price pulls back, okay? So price pulls back as a really significant retracement. You could say we enter into the 2012 bear market. And then when we're talking about the 2013 bull market, okay, so, you see we bottom, we consolidate here for a little bit, and then we get that big whoop, whoop, whoop candle. And a little differently, we back in 2012, we pulled back significantly after. I mean, you can look at this as a strong fractal, right? You have price consolidating roughly in a descending triangle right here after reaching a peak in January of 2012, right? You're in a descending channel. You're in a downwards trend. You get a nice bounce off of support. Like, let's just ignore these wicks to the downside, right? You're gonna have to kind of ignore this candle, but just look at the overall pattern, right? So you have rough support here around $5. Okay. Price descends to $5, gets a bounce off of it, forms a lower high, right? We had formed this swing low, okay, off of our swing high. So we form a swing low, a lower swing high, we consolidate, and then price closes below that floor, okay? So just look at this as 6,000. We close below, enter into a pretty strong bearish trend for a few days, find a local bottom, okay? Then we have, this is the candle of interest because we had this daily candle after we broke the $4,000 resistance on Bitcoin. But here we had immediate drawdown and then a second leg up, okay? And then a fairly significant retracement, okay? Before we eventually entered into the bullish trend. So my whole point is this initial impulse off the bottom and this initial impulse off the bottom right here, what do they represent? Bull traps. They represented bull traps because you had been in a long-term trend. And unfortunately, when you are in a downwards trend, when you are in a bear market, it is nearly impossible to immediately flip from straight bullish or straight bearish to straight bullish, right? That you have to make stops on the way in between, right? So this whole area represented a bull trap. This area represented a bull trap as well, technically, although you didn't get as significant as a retracement, but still steep based on what price was back there, right? So price still dropped 10%. Nothing that an investor wants until you did finally here. Talk about this all the time. You have resistance, daily breaker. I mean, look, this is perfect. It works 60% of the time. It works every time, man. So you have a daily breaker. Okay, look what happens. Price breaks that daily breaker very clean with little resistance, and then you look to buy pullbacks into that zone. Right there, you break resistance, buy a pullback, break, pullback, continuation. Beautiful bullish trend, okay? Let's continue on. So here we are, the peak of the market in August of 2012. Let's see here. Before, okay, so this was peak of the market, but I mean, that was a big, that's just a keck, man. Nothing to really be done. So that doesn't really factor well into our analysis. This is just the market moving up, moving down a little bit, continue to move up. Nice bullish trend. Okay, here we go. Here's the top in April of 2013, right? Before the bear market started. Okay. And very similarly, man, like, look, let's assume this, okay? So we have that same parabolic movement up, okay? Here's a daily sell signal, okay? Right at the top of the market. Just as we did at 19,000, on that same day, we wicked all the way down to 9,000. On that same, most people don't remember that. We did. Wicked from 19,000 down to 9 grand. Deep pockets, and then shot right back up. And then we just came down, bottomed at 6K right here, did a little bit of bounce up. This is a little different because obviously we bottomed. So this is like a straight shot from like, imagine this is like 19,000 all the way down to 3,000 like we just did. And then what do? We put in a nice, we go straight bullish, go straight bearish right to bullish. And what happens as a natural result of that? It was a bull trap. This area right here represents a bull trap. And we have a pullback, right? And then we have a weak movement to the upside and then a strong bearish impulse wave down that actually pushed us lower. We form a lower swing low than we did here. And then finally price is able to recover. We get one more, hey, fuck you. And then price bullish, okay? And then we can examine this this bear market right here, really the bear market of the end of 2013, beginning of 2014, that really was the most significant bear market of Bitcoin's history, right? It started right here and it lasted 2 years, And if we look at the bottom right here, this is a little bit more significant. This is kind of what I wanted to get to. So here's the real bear market of 2013. So this is really the only part of the market cycle that we actually have confluence with right now. So you can see here, we consolidate. Let's assume this is 6K. We consolidate in this kind of descending triangle pattern, right? Doesn't look perfect, but you get my point. Here's 6K. We break 6K. This actually comes up and does a BPC. But my point is that we bottom. First impulse is a bull trap. Second impulse is a bull trap. Frickin' third impulse is a bull trap, right? And it takes 1, 2, 3 tests of that previous resistance to break above. And even then when we do break above, right? So this is again the same setup that I've been talking about for a while when Bitcoin, when Bitcoin breaks 6K. Do you want to market buy it? No. Let it do its thing. And then buy the pullback, right? So again, you have a daily breaker. Okay. Or a bear, until it's broken, it's not a breaker, it's a bearish block, right? So you have a bearish block, which is the last candle in an uptrend, the last bullish candle in an uptrend before shift in market structure. You wait for price to close above that block cleanly, and once you close above it, any pullbacks into the zone you buy, right? You just set your limit orders there, and you wait for the market to come to you. And you would have bought here, you would have bought here, and you know, say you had bought there, well, you get buy here, you got a sell signal there. That's a good trade. If you bought here, you got a sell signal there. That's a good trade. Or you're using higher time frames. It doesn't matter. But my point is, those are good entries. And you know, you can do this. I mean, seriously, you can do this with anything. Like here's you have a breaker right here. You have resistance right here. You break above it, and most people are like, "Oh my God, I missed it. Oh, price will never ever come back down. It's just gonna go straight up forever." No, resistance by the pullback. You would have entered right there. Setting your limit orders right there, man. Got all of this. Let the market come to you, man. Just let the market. That's going to be a lot of delete I have to do later. Holy crap. I bet I can just open up that object tree. Like switch some stuff. Object tree. Oh shoot, I deleted the rectangle. Oh man, I have to redraw my blocks. Ah! Oh, cool. Woo! We'll leave those rectangles there. All right, this looks good. So, again, what is this more likely to be? Is this likely to just go up and up and up? The first, strong impulse move above resistance. After this, are we going to go straight bullish? Are we going to go straight bearish to straight bullish? Highly unlikely, man. Highly unlikely. And if we do, we buy the pullback. Yeah. Simple. Ready? Set. Go. Minister C Politics. What's up, bro? Please look at ZERP M19. Makes no sense why no bounce. It did bounce. David Rice says, a few more months, I'll have my bags packed and moon, dude. Stephen Bechter, I am trying for consistency over aggressiveness. That is the best way. Bernardo Patricio asks, do you often use Quadriga ATR for stop losses / take profits? Or more times a confluence of Ichimoku lines with EMAs? Maybe all of these. My go-to is to use Quadriga. That's what I developed it for, to have an objective stop loss and take profit method. 700 watching. Smash those likes, guys. Highly appreciated. Thank you, Crypto Caveman. I am wise. Justin Wise. Thanks. Don't know if it matters, but will Deribit send information to TradingView? It won't right now, man. That's actually like a campaign. We're trying to get it going. ZERP M19, we will look. Cryptomice Trash, just joking. Do I still have the second camera? Yeah, I still do. Oh, see over there. Weird. See? Boom. I changed it a little bit, so I got to do like color correction on it and everything. And yeah, I know. Need a new chair. I like my chair. I've had this chair for quite a while. You want to be a good trader, man. You're going to need yourself comfortable. Just a second. What is it? You should. Capacity. There we go. That's what I wanted. Pardon me. That looks a little better. Boom. Yeah, I've been playing around with it, man. I love you too, man. Crypto Caveman asks, what accounts do I need to have to go along with your trade setups? Whatever accounts you want, man. I actively trade on Deribit, BitMEX, Binance. We have analysts and traders that make calls. You can utilize them on any platform that you really like, as long as you're able to do the translation. And if you ever have any questions about the translation from one asset to another, just ask. Bernardo Patricio, Keel Wilson. What do I think of unstoppable domains? Jermaine, thanks so much for the subscription on YouTube, man. Welcome to the community. Keel Wilson says, what do you think of unstoppable domains getting rolled out on Zilliqua, buying domain names and flipping them later like the .com boom? Yeah, that's what's Martini guys hustling that pretty hard, which is cool. I totally support that, man. I think that's probably a good idea, man. Hell yeah. Oh, I did my Walton chain work on the 3 days. Thanks again. Hey, no problem, man. Did you post your chart somewhere? You want me to look at it? I'd be happy to. 100%. Sir, I missed 3,100. So what should I do now? 4,600 is probable or possible? It's possible. What, 4,600? Yeah, dude. Yeah, listen, so it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be if you're trying to trade professionally and really try to catch relatively local lows or relatively local highs, because nobody ever sells the top or buys the bottom perfectly. Like the people who did buy the absolute bottom are not going to be the same people that sell the absolute top. It's just not how it works, man. There's only really like one person who gets to buy the bottom because it's market order. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and promise you that dips are going to happen. I mean, I will make money right now if Bitcoin's price goes down. I will lose money if Bitcoin's price goes up in the short term. In the medium, so I'm short term bearish, medium term bearish, long term still. So when I say short term, I'm talking days and weeks. When I'm talking midterm, I'm talking weeks and months, and when I'm long term, I'm talking years and decades. Do I think Wabi is being manipulated? Yes. From the look that I had on the chart, it looked like garbage. Huge pumping up. Discord trading chat. All right. Do it. Let me get to it, man. Watching Yo-Yo for breakout. Okay, my first attempt at a bullish reversal on Walton Chain Bitcoin. Can anyone give constructive feedback? I can. Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Yes. That's perfect. 100% perfect. That's a daily so that's a daily bearish block. Why? Because that's as high as price was able to go before the bears took control of the market. You have a shift in market structure. It is closed above cleanly, and so anything that pulls back into this zone, you're looking to enter into bids. Now, obviously keep in mind that this does not mean that this is the only way that you can trade, because you do have other bullish elements in this as well. Like, for example, if the 3-day closes inside the Kumo cloud, you could look for an edge-to-edge trade. If if you get a TK cross, you could buy the pullback to the Tenkan and the Kijun retest zone, the zone of the breakout. That's a good strategy as well. If you have other technical indicators or oscillators that would give you entry and exit signals. But as far as 3-day analysis, that's great. I will tell you, I do like to use like daily breakers, but personal preference. All right. So we're going to see what we're going to get. It's Saturday, man. We did have a few weekends where we had heightened volatility on Saturdays, but oh. Crypto Kitty, glad to find your channel very solid. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Or gal. Do you believe Ethereum USD will test the $220 boundary right now? I will make money if Ethereum goes down. I will lose money if Ethereum goes up. So I would hope not. Short term. So, okay. So just to let you guys know what I'm thinking. Like swing high, swing low, generated off the swing high. Lower high potentially. Trending wise, time transformation is above the 0 line. It confirmed yesterday, and today is continuing that. However, Wadatar is not confirming a trending trade, so that's keeping us out of this market for taking a trending trade, because trending indicators like these on the daily is going to get us chopped. The last dominant signals that we had was the reversal sell right here at the top of the market, and then some hidden bullish divergence on this candle right here, as you can see. So that's it. Ichimoku for support and resistance. Yeah, held the daily Tenkan quite nicely. Wicked down to the vicinity of the daily Kijun. So, I mean, it's tight, but we're just looking for a swing failure pattern, essentially, right? That would invalidate this long trade, but it's all right because we're short from here. So, I mean, that's the only thing that really changed from last night to today, is because I set some limit orders. They got filled today. Doing pretty good, man. So anyways, so I mean, when you get a swing failure pattern, I don't do measured moves or anything like that because that's nonsense. But you have a swing high, swing low. You're forming a lower swing high, and you're looking for price to trade below this swing low. And typically when that happens, you pull back. So the future cloud is bullish and growing stronger. So that is slightly conflicting, but I'm going to put more emphasis on price action for telling me where price is going to go, and look at these and look at my indicators for confluence. So because they're not telling me anything, you know, real strongly or not. I mean, obviously we're above the cloud, so price is bullish, right? But I want to keep in mind the larger context of this is. It's, you know, you could make a more long-term bullish case for Ethereum than you could for Bitcoin. So yeah, if we break this right here. So if we trade above this daily breaker, we're going to go much higher. But until then, take the trades in the breaker. So then we just short from the daily breaker until the daily breaker is broken, and then we buy pullbacks, and then we go to the moon. So yeah, if we break the daily breaker, 220 is definitely on the table. Yeah, because we're right here at this resistance of consolidation. So I would see us wicking above this level of consolidation for the bullish case, and then ideally settling at equilibrium, because we have the range low here, we have the range high here. I will use just for the purposes of establishing. Cool. Right. So this is a trading range, right? This is the bearish control zone, bullish control zone. And so what you typically see when price breaks into a new trading range is rejection from the range low. You normally, once you break up in here, more often than not, you do, especially with crypto, wick above the range high, come down. If you don't close above the range equilibrium, you often will consolidate between the range low and the equilibrium, and then you'll gain equilibrium support, and then you're looking to gain the range high support. But it's not always textbook like that, so. But just a good way to view the markets. I mean, it's better than looking at the markets with a crystal ball, for example. Are we currently breaking down from a rising wedge pattern in Bitcoin? It's definitely trading in an ascending channel, which typically resolves to the downside. You could make the ascending triangle argument, like right here. And you wouldn't be wrong for trying to make that argument. Jerry Pack says, I can't believe you, sir, only have 4,000 subscribers. It feels like you're so undervalued. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, by the way, I mean, I guess I didn't rah that enough, but thank you guys so much for 4,000 subscribers. We tweeted it out, obviously, the other night, but we didn't make a big deal about it on the stream. You know, let me just take this moment to say we started doing these live streams daily in November, and we had done videos since 2017. And I've been amazingly impressed with the reception that we've gotten. We've been doing Cracking Cryptocurrency since 2017, mentoring individuals on how to trade. And I mean, it's just been a hell of a ride, guys. So thank you so much. There are some of you who have been with us from the beginning. You guys are amazing and fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us on this journey, for being in the Discord, for supporting the community. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to the channel. I mean, you guys are just absolutely fantastic, man. ZZ Bra6. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, my good friend. Always appreciate support and love on Twitch. CryptoMeister says you can always support by paying for a subscription on Twitch. That would be highly appreciated if anybody would like to do that. Helps keep the lights on. Helps put some chopped up ham in Scott's ramen. My ramen too. Ricky Thompson says, I hate it when people say Bitcoin is going to pump. I find it hard to believe Bitcoin will pump after a long downtrend. It has to stair step up for healthy market. If it's a pump, it's manipulated in a bear trap. Trills. Trizzles, man. Trizzles. Yunkel, grats. Thank you so much, man. Keel, Turd Ferguson, Ash Badger, Bernardo, guys, thank you so much, guys. Those are fantastic. My indicators show me that this channel will pump. It's been, I mean, it has been like Bitcoin's price growth in 2017, ever since we started doing the daily live streams. It's been really good. It's been really fun. Okay, let's look at ZERP. That's the only fly in my ointment right now is ZERP. Okay, so So here was my idea that I had posted on ZERP, right? A couple things. You do have this macro trend line, right, that has supported price, but you do see here that the first time this trend line was generated, you do get an extreme wick to the downside, right? But the trend line wasn't formed, but just keep that in mind as we're talking about what happened here now. The second time, price was supported beautifully with a double bottom. So if we actually zoom in a little bit, we will see, because nature. Do we see? No, I mean, it's almost beautiful to the T, right? We see a slightly lower high and then price kicks off with bullish expansion. So just nice, beautiful double bottom. And then we've just been in this, just long, drawn out, sickening, deadly death spin on Ripple, man. And, I mean, I was chided for not being bullish back here, and Alex kills it, dude. Listen, Alex, he's one of our analysts. He's one of my trading partners. He's my main trading partner, and he's a beast, man. He doesn't focus so much on intraday trading. He likes to look at the longer term time frames, and he was talking about shorting ETH from up here, or not ETH, excuse me, Ripple, from up here all the way down to here. And I mean, the dude he has a very, very, very good sense for the macro direction of the market. So shout out to Epistemic Crisis, my good friend. Once we get some cabling issues figured out, hopefully we can get him on the show more. But them Californians. Anyways, so the dominant feature, the dominant factors in ZERP right now are this descending macro trend line that has been, suppressing price, and this macro trend line to the upside, right? Now, and we're also at a critical level of support, right? So we have resistance here. It's not a breaker, but it is a level where once broken above, pullbacks to it were to be bought, bought. Pullback right here, you can see where price breaks below, closes the daily below, immediately BPCs, immediately breaks, pulls back, and continues, right? And then delayed by time and space does pull back significantly and confirm this area, right? So this is a swing failure pattern, right? So you have a swing high, right? That's formed right here, local high. You generate a swing low, and now you're thinking like, wow, we just broke support. We just broke this support over here, right? And this support, and that was this resistance. So you're looking at that, and I mean, you just have a beautiful support resistance flip in an SFPY because you trade below this low, okay? Take that out, price pulls back tests that. I mean, it just happens over and over again. Support and resistance flips. Price descends, bottoms on the macro trend line, and then pumps up with bullish expansion. You get a pullback, and price bullishly expands. Who is... I don't see anything. All right, take it easy, man. Good to see you, bro. Crypto Kitty asks, how long would it take to get as good as you if retired and have lots of time to put towards it? So it took me 3 years to be a profitable trader. And that's because I made every single possible mistake that you could possibly make in the book. Like, I was really terrible when I started trading. Really, really awful. Like, I was undisciplined. Just all their common mistakes. I'd look at a chart and I'd be like, well, I kind of feel bullish. Let's just market buy. And, we'll just take profit when price goes up. And, I did that for a while, man. And I got a mentor and I learned. And realistically, like, if you, especially because I think with this channel, like, if you just were to spend time, like, back watching the episodes, or joining the premium trading group and taking advantage of the webinar series that I've produced and just taking advantage of the community, regardless of how long that's congruent with your time frame and your lifestyle and your needs, but just taking advantage of that information, I don't think it's unrealistic to say that it would only take you 6 to 12 months to be a profitable trader and have the skills and potential to be professional. I don't think that's unrealistic, because the main part is just taking the time to build the system, to build the strategy itself, right? And then once you've done that, you just test it, right? You just back test it, right? And that takes time too, but not generally as long as building the system. Back testing properly is kind of a pain, but it is what it is. And I do recommend manual back testing because you can automate it, but Pine and TradingView, and but again, then I know there are some guys in the group who are just killer with code, right? And they write their own Python libraries and everything to test their own strategies and pull charts. Like, I can't do none of that. I can do HTML and cascading style script. And I'm actually, when I have free time, I know a little bit of programming. I'm not amazing. I know Pine quite well because I like to write indicators. But that's like, it's weird how I learned Pine because I don't come from a programming background. So I learned Pine by learning how to do stuff and then working to push that all together and then getting a lot of help and then having like a unique idea, because most of my trading strategies are fairly unique, or ideas that I have, ways that I trade the market, ways that I look at the market are fairly unique that I've found. So learning how to code those in Pine was an interesting experiment. GBU Wally, man, good to see you, my dude, for the $14.99 super chat. And he says, and I quote, dude, I lost it. What did you say, bro? He says, shout out to the premium group. The content is superb and there's so much available in the chat. Learn, earn, and don't get burned. Thank you so much, man. Gunbot University, Professor Wally coming to us live. Gunbot knowledge in the university. Did I say that right? Yeah, GBU, man. Thanks so much, bro. Highly appreciate it. Thank you for being a subscriber. You're one of the good ones, my good friend. Thank you, Wally. Hope you're doing well on this Easter, man. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Easter tomorrow. So I hope that you guys got a lot of food, gonna get a lot of food in your bellies. We got deviled eggs going on here. We got ham. We got scalloped potatoes au gratin. We got cheesy rice. We got Baja Blast. Yeah, taking a break from the keto diet for Easter. I'm sorry, guys. So I was walking through the grocery store today with my kids. And I saw, so you guys know I'm pretty healthy. I work out. I generally eat keto. I do take breaks because I think it's good to take breaks at least twice a year from your keto diet. But, I wake up every morning and I generally have buttered coffee, right? MCT oil, buttered coffee, some brain boosters. Go get a workout. Let's go. But since I'm on break, they have Peeps coffee creamer. Peeps. I'm going to say that again real slowly. Peeps flavored coffee creamer. And I was thinking to myself, well, I've always wanted to try that organic agave nectar in my coffee. So let's do it. What is the green and red candle indicator? Monkey777. And by the way, thanks so much, man, for watching on Twitch. Highly appreciated. That is Wada Atar Explosion. Full credit goes to Lazy Bear for designing that. The only thing that I've done with the code, so if you go to tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com, the link is in the description down below. You can check out my scripts. Some are private and are for premium group subscribers, things like Time Transformation, Rodrigo ATR, Compassion and Minx, which haven't been released yet. They're still in beta testing. But you can use CC Exponential Moving Averages or CC EMA, CC Ichimoku, and Wada Atar Explosion modified for altcoins. So those are public scripts that I've created that are free for anybody to use. I wrote them. I wrote my own Ichimoku script because I didn't like most Ichimoku scripts that I came across. It's default for crypto. You can set alerts. It visually shows buy and sell signals for different conditions. And Wada Atar Explosion is an amazing indicator, right? This was for the long time my primary indicator trading Forex. And the problem is Lazy Bear did a fantastic job with it, but something about the precision, there was a line of code in there that would make it whack-a-noodle when you looked at altcoins or low sat coins because it was designed for Forex and Pip. So I just removed that line of code. Not the most elegant solution, but it works, man. Trading is a self-development course in oneself. Trading is, yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Oh, hey, Maddie, Pine is a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's super, man. Super pain in the butt, dude. LaFrenchy CG said, yeah, oh, hey, Maddie, yeah, Pine is very bro. Dude, it's so, and I just upgraded Time Transformation, not just, but like last month from V2 to V3 because I was able to figure out, and I had help, like, you know, it's not like, but unique ideas and then really good resources and a lot of time, man. Like learning Pine was such a pain for me, dude. It really took a lot of time. But, you know, just putting together things that I had learned and, you know, having people that were willing to help. You know, Time Transformation is a fantastic indicator. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with what I've been able to do. But yeah, upgrading from V2 to V3, there were so many different conditions that I had to rewrite. The Frenchy CG says, I'm on BitMEX right now, and there are a lot of bulls that think we are going up to 5.66K. What are your thoughts on that? I'm currently shorting BTC. I'm currently shorting BTC too, man. So I will make money if Bitcoin's price goes down. I will lose money if Bitcoin's price goes up. I am in profit on my primary account because my primary account was short from 53.50 and has been short from 53.50 since back here. This was the day that I entered on. So on Deribit, I'm short. What's my average entry? My short on Deribit has an average entry of 53.14. So I am in profit now. I was in drawdown for which is the same, which is give or take about $25 away from the average entry from just about everybody else that's in the group, as far as I'm aware, from the signal that I posted. The worst case scenario is you have an average entry of 52.75, I think, around the calculations. Not even my I have up. Michael Fariello says, not now. We are retracing the C wave to $4,600 first. Well, I hope so, man. I don't believe in Elliott wave analysis, but if it says we're going to 4,600 and I'm short from 53.50, you're my best friend. Or, oh, there it was, man. There it was. Or we just finished our wave 4 and we will enter our wave 5 down into the crypto abyss. I'm not trying to get on your case, man. I get it. I'm the same way. Almost identical menu for us. Cryptomeister says break. Oh, yeah, you're right, man. It's 6:11, dude. Let me take a quick break, man. Happy 420, boys. Crypto Caveman says. Michael says, hey man, love your live sessions. Am I holding any alts? What alts am I most bullish on long-term? Cheers. So I can tell you, so I have some Ripple. And there are some other alt positions that I have. I do want to respect what people pay for to join the group, which is my mentorship, my analysis. It's not like, I would say that setups and signals are obviously the smallest portion of what I do. It's never what I want ever to be the emphasis of why people come to the group. I want the emphasis to come into the group to learn to be a professional, profitable trader. But yeah, I have some Ripple, and that's except for, so besides Ripple, and then some other smaller coins that I'm interested in. Monkey777, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. No, there's not a lot of alt positions that I'm holding. There's some trades that I'm in, but as far as like best coins to hold 2019, I don't really do that, man. I just trade. There are things that I have positions in: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, for example. So what I do every month is I roll 10% of my monthly profits into long-term holds, right? If I feel so inclined to invest in things. That's not always crypto. Jeff Boyer, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube. So sometimes they're cryptocurrency, and for a while that's what we were doing. And sometimes they're gold and silver, and sometimes they're traditional assets. Sometimes they're cash. And sometimes cash is the best thing, just being flat. When everyone is long, we go short. Keel Wilson, Cracking Crypto and Justin Wise are available on unstoppable domains. Yoink, want to buy them for 1 Bitcoin each. Just kidding, but you should grab those before a troll does. Well, they're probably already going to get grabbed now because now we just talked about it on the stream. But yeah, let me throw that out to Scott. Note. So anyways, guys, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. And when I get back, I'm going to break ZERP down a little bit more. I know we kind of like we're looking at it and then and then we kind of stop. So we're going to look at ZERP more in depth, and we'll look at some requests that you guys have. We're going to be doing this until 7 o'clock, guys. So I'm going to go grab some water, and I'll be right back, guys. While you're waiting for me to return, I highly appreciate it. Don't go anywhere, guys. This isn't over yet. We got a lot to do. But if you guys would like to support the show, if you guys want to go to topg.crackingcryptocurrency.com. So, if you guys want to go over to topg.crackingcryptocurrency.com and give us an upvote, doesn't cost you anything. You don't even have to register an account. You just click this little button right here. It's a Discord server ranking. It pushes us up the ranking. We highly appreciate the support. Thank you so much. We're vying to be the best trading Discord server out there. Other than that, that's kind of all I've got. Is our poll still open? There we go. Yeah, 1 day left. All right, so let's copy link to tweet. You guys can also 4-minute and 20-second break. No. Hopefully not. 4-minute, 20-second break. Nah, man, I don't use substances, bro. I'm too old for that. I'm boring. So yeah, you guys can click on that link to our Twitter and vote. We were talking about this yesterday. So, obviously John McAfee claiming that he knows the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, or that he's going to search for the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto and reveal him. Do you guys think that he should do this? Is he making a valid claim? I went on a long rant about this yesterday and I won't. So again, I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I will be right back. All right. Cool, man. Sorry for the length of the delay. I have to be honest with you guys. I have to tell you guys something. I didn't tell you the truth. I did not tell you the truth. I said I was going to go get some water. It's Baja Blast. All right. Normally do not allow soda to pass my lips, but today I will. Okay. Ash Badger. Do I use, sorry, let's get back over here to the live stream. Do I use a trading bot at all, like 3 comments? I do not. Eli back, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my good friend. He says, happy Easter weekend. Hope you're enjoying some good weather and relaxing a bit. Please look at Haven Protocol for me. Sure, man. Let's look at Haven. We're gonna look. I'm gonna just get updated with the chat, and then we're gonna look a little bit more at ZERP, Cardano, and Haven Protocol. X Protocol. Excuse me. I use 3 commas to trade Binance. I don't use their bots. No, I do like to manually trade. And then I kind of saw this. This is going to be a reply. Le Revel Conspirationiste says there will be no storm. And you know why? He says, he says, there will be no storm. And do I know why? Doesn't say why. And then the next comment is, you are taking every YouTuber side. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what other YouTubers are saying or doing, man. I don't have time to watch other content creators. Oh, that's good. But no, OOT will go up. Want to know why? No, I don't want to know why. I just want to make money, bro. I don't want to know why. Wally says, Ripple is a typo. It is not Ripple, it's ZERP. Yes, it is ZERP. Ripple was a typo. What are my thoughts on ETH masternodes in the future? Good. Very excited to see them, honestly. Darkcrypt D says, weren't I in a long waiting for a Bitcoin would break out in a previous live stream? Now I'm short. Why? So I've been short since the 10th of April. Was I in a long prior to that? Yeah, because sometimes I go long and sometimes I go short. I don't recall. I think you're incorrect, man. In this trading range, I don't remember talking about a breakout in the sense of this trading block breakout. In the sense of this trading block breakout. I was excited about this breakout right here. And that's about it as far as to the long side. And then this one, yeah. And this daily breaker right here. Because of the last monthly closure. Okay. Take a deep breath and think about last monthly closure. Sure. Now I'm kind of scared to look at it. I don't know what you want me to see, man. Sure, it could be right, man. I'm in a short position. Pretty happy with that. I could make money. I could lose money. The risk I take. And we'll find out what happens next. But thank you so much for your comments, man. Wally says, my coin analysis request is NEO. Now my biggest bag. Last time it was Kyber Network and you analyzed it. And I got a 5% return, so let's do NEO. Boy, I thought you made way more on KNC. We nailed it on, well, I mean, I don't want to say we nailed it. We did some good analysis on KNC. 5% is 5% though, man. KNC, or why did I type in KNC? NEO. I need to get to these altcoinities. You guys are just good, man. Okay, done, CryptoKitty says. Thank you. Okay. You're welcome, guys. All right, so to the charts. Okay, so the original question was, getting back to ZERP right here. The original question is, why didn't we bounce? So here's what we have. This is the only thing we have for ZERP right now, right? Is we have this daily breaker, all right? So congruent with the support resistance flips, right? So we can see that this green dashed line was acting as a critical level in the market, right? It was resistance here, so we know there's liquidity there. We know there's a lot of traders, or a trader, or a conglomerate of traders, or whatever. There's capital, there's liquidity right here. Price breaks that level cleanly, pulls back, tested as support right here. goes up to reach its all-time high, descends, finds support at that exact zone again, goes for a last weak bullish impulse before entering into a strong downtrend from April to September of 2018. When we break that green line, you can see clearly here on the daily that we break below that line, pull back, test it as resistance, support converted into resistance, pull back, retest it, confirmed resistance, break. That makes this a bearish order block, right? Because this is as high as buyers were able to push price before we entered into a confirmed downtrend. And what do we have here? We have price break that cleanly. That makes this a breaker, meaning we're buying all pullbacks into that zone. Bought it here, right? Sell it anywhere here. And what happened? Price came back to the breaker. Price came back to the breaker and did bounce. Like price did bounce if you bought in the breaker, right? Okay, so if you bought anywhere around here, price did bounce about 5%. That's a good trade. I don't care who you are. And now price seems like it's going to disrespect the breaker. You can't really say, we're dead until we close the daily below the breaker. And then you could make an argument for this block right here. Other than that, you're talking about the bottom of the market. So this right here. Because if we fail here, if ZERP fails here, that's pretty nasty because we're going to fail the macro trend line and we're going to fail the most significant daily breaker and support line that we have on the chart. And now we're talking about being in a full-on bearish control zone at the bottom of the market. And although that is generally a good time to buy when you get into the lower realm of the market, for confidence to enter into a position without having to have your capital not working for you, you do want to wait for some critical level or a bullish kickoff, man. At least a higher high, right? So it'd be nice if we could break this trend line. Breaking this descending trend line would be very bullish for me. That would be when you do scale into any position if you enter on any reversal, because entering on this breaker is a reversal buy. So I'm going to, honestly, like I'm getting a little like, it's getting pretty much time to cut it for ZERP for me, right? I've been holding ZERP for a little bit. And it's just about time to let it go, man. So, but I'm going to wait. Daily needs to close. Daily is going to close below the trend line. I really want to see the daily close below the breaker. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens, man. We are right at support. So I don't want to be getting bearish at support, just like you don't want to be getting bullish at resistance. But objectively, it's not looking very well, man. It's not looking very great. But we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and let it do its thing for a little bit longer. So that's ZERP, man. Crypto Meister says, don't they dump 1 billion more ZERP into the market every month? They said they were going to do that in October, November of 2017. I'm not exactly sure, man. Vajtex, man, I'm sorry, dude. Kazelka, let's try that. I thought that I was patient regarding trading, but Justin showed me that I was not. Patience is the biggest thing I learned from Justin yet in the premium group. Golk. Oh, hey, what's going on, man? Thank you so much, Golk. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, my good friend. Dark Crypt D says, why do I spell ZERP as ZERP? It's Z-U-R-R-P. That's how it right there. That's how it's supposed to be pronounced or spelled. Yeah, Ripple's just a typo, man. Just an idiosyncrasy of mine, man. Kazelka says, can you tell us your personal reasons not to use Elliott waves or fibs? Do you think they are not good for crypto? So let's see here. I'm going to Golk. I talked about this a bit in the premium members lounge last night. So let me just scroll up the Discord. I missed questions. DRS 13. Sorry, I missed your questions, guys. Today was a crazy day. Okay, let me. Okay, here we go. So we were talking. Me and Reyes were talking last night, and he basically asked the same thing about fibs. Like, why? What is my beef with fibs? And I said, and I quote, so this is just me, I said, they are the ultimate hindsight indicator. Traders will not say a peep when price blasts through a Fibonacci level, but the moment it reverses off of one, it will be all over crypto Twitter. It doesn't matter which Fibonacci level it reverses off of, if it reverses off a Fibonacci level or a pivot point or a line. It's going to be all over Twitter, but every time it blasts through levels that are on somebody's chart, they don't say anything about it. Then I said, that's not to say that they can't be helpful. The issue is the traders who use Fibonacci in a disciplined strategy are rare. Most people who rely on fibs lose money. Now, I do think that the 0.5 retracement level is the best. It also helps for aiming for new swing highs when price is broken its all-time high. And then Dima said, I like fibs. I said, I like chocolate milk, but it's still bad for me. See what I'm getting at? Just like fibs. And then I said, there are frequent times when the 0.5 and the 618 do reverse price. But the issue is, one, where do you anchor your Fibonacci's? Everyone has a different answer. That puts it in the realm of a subjective indicator. Are you using Fibonacci's for entry, for take profit, support and resistance? Again, you're going to get different answers from different folks. Subjective realm. Do you buy every retracement to your chosen Fibonacci levels once you've figured out steps 1 and 2? Probably not. If you do, where is your take profit target? And if you do, and you figure out where your take profit is, are your trades on average successful or unsuccessful relying on Fibonacci in that fashion? And I have found through all my backtesting that the answer to that question is no, they're not profitable on average. So that's my problem with Fibonacci, is they're the ultimate hindsight indicator. Everybody is going to say, hey man, look at that, fib that just held price. All right, so getting in the last half hour of the show, let's check out Cardano. This is busy. Seems like I had a much. Well, let's just work with what we got. Justin is such an OG drinking from a pickle jar. Cryptomeister says, okay, there we go. Thank you, man. Ripple to place 55 Billy with a B, ZERP in escrow to ensure certainty of total ZERP supply. The other reason that I say ZERP is in reality, like realistically, is because, and by the way, it's Baja Blast out of the pickle. This is a mason jar. So we do make our own pickles here at the Wise household, but no pickles were ever in that. That is a virgin, only for the purposes of drinking. Ripple to place, because there's Ripple, the company, and ZERP, the token. Two different things. XRP is not Ripple, and Ripple is not XRP. Ripple is a corporation that was founded in 2004. You guys didn't come here for conspiracy theory with the purpose of Bitcoin? Oh, you guys didn't know that Ripple has been around since 2004? What? And Bitcoin came out in 2009? Both had ideas to attempt to figure out the problem with global liquidity. And Bitcoin is basically the people's coin, and Ripple is the and ZERP is supposed to be the how do I put this? I mean, it's like the little people against the big people, man. I mean, if you guys want some conspiracy theory stuff. Yeah, I'm a pretty level-headed guy, right? I'm very grounded, right? I don't do the tinfoil hat stuff, but in reality, this is real life, man. Ripple's been around since 2004, 5 years before Bitcoin. Peer-to-peer electronic cash white paper was produced by Satoshi Nakamoto. And I think that that is a direct response to try to put the power in the hands of the people. And that's why I stand behind Bitcoin, and why I feel the way I do about Bitcoin Cash, and why I feel the way I feel about things like Ethereum, insofar as, you know, is it going to be money, tokens? To build ZERP liquidity, we have been mindful over the years about how we distribute ZERP. Our goal in distributing ZERP is to incentivize actions that build trust, utility, and liquidity. Like lying about our market cap. We engage in distribution strategies that we expect will result in a strengthening ZERP exchange rate against other currencies. We have a proven track record of doing just that. Despite this 4-year track record, we have heard concerns in the market about uncertainty surrounding our ongoing ZERP distribution. The root of this uncertainty is the notion that Ripple might one day sell its 61.68 billion, Billy with a B, ZERP in the market at any time, a scenario that would be bad for Ripple. Our self-interest is aligned with building and maintaining a healthy ZERP market. Today, we are permanently removing that uncertainty by committing to place 55 Billy with a B ZERP into a cryptographically secured escrow account by the end of 2017. By securing the lion's share of our ZERP, investors can now mathematically verify the maximum supply of ZERP that can enter the market. Escrow to establish 55 contracts of each that will expire on the first day of every month, 0 to 50. Okay. So 1 billion ZERP. Will leave the escrow and be available for Ripple to do with as they please. So, okay, so they're not saying that this is not saying that a billion ZERP is entering into circulation every day, but a billion ZERP become available to Ripple, the company, to utilize with as they so choose, because it's up to them how to distribute their own token. So yeah, it says, for comparison, Ripple has sold on average 300 million ZERP per month for the past 18 months. Yeah. ZERP is the only digital asset with a clear use case. It's the best digital asset for payments. Yeah. The point of Bitcoin is that it's good for payments. The point of it is that it's secure. It's government hard, designed from the ground up to be resistant to governments. When did Alex Jones take over the chip? These are the levels to watch right here. 53.40, 53.50. I mean, I already set the rule, so I can't argue with it. Hmm. Interesting. Let's see what we get, guys. We get about 20 minutes for the daily candle closes. What is the funding rate? Shorts pay long. Not 76. Nothing impressive. Let's see what happens in 18 minutes. But before we do that, I do need to do the adjustment. So let's do Cardano and Haven and Neo real quick, guys. Sorry. Okay, so this is basically what I'm looking at for ADA right here. We're about there, right? We're entering into the buy zone. Now, we could be a little bit more precise with this because this is pretty broad, right? So I'm basically targeting a wider support zone. Excuse me. So this is I'm targeting the weekly block. So actually we can wider, but my point is, okay, so this is as far as buyers were able to push price until consistent resistance was established. Price pulled back, retested that zone as resistance, very similar to Bitcoin right here. And so we're just looking for retracements back into that block to be interested buyers. So the buy zone for Cardano on me is 1284 to 1355, and I'll be targeting the range high. You could be more conservative and use a daily breaker. This one right here would have you would basically, so if you did that, your buy zone would essentially get morphed into hello, is it me you're looking for? Yeah. So if you did that, your buy zone would, your entry would get moved down here, but your stop loss would get wider. Okay. So not interested in catching the Cardano knife now. Need to come down. All right. XHV, BTC, Haven Protocol. I haven't looked at Haven Protocol. Let's see. Okay, that's actually pretty easy. So, okay, so you came back down into the buy zone right here. Got some bullish expansion. Then you consolidate it. A little bit of a bullish pennant right there. And you're looking to close above. So if you wanted to BPC this, which is my preferred entry method of choice, you'd be looking for pullbacks. Actually, you know, if you want to be real, I wouldn't use this as a bull bar, as a bullish breaker. Say something. We are right at resistance right here. We're at horizontal resistance. Yeah, that's pretty good. So either up, back, and then up, or up, back, maybe do some buying at the descending trend line with a stop loss right about here, below this daily candle, right here. And then if and when price reclaims this, right, which is not your range high, but I mean, what else are you going to use? Are you going to use this candle? No, you're not. You're going to use. Then you could scale more into your position right here. Where is 1,569 sats? Yeah, that's pretty good. Liquidity. Going to take some initial profits off Haven, about 15% profit. Entry here, taking a risk. If you entered here, regardless, soft stop loss right here, man. That makes it entry right here, which I would not enter here. I would enter if the daily closes above and pulls back to this level. Or if the daily rejects from here, which is more likely, honestly, at resistance, reject from resistance. If you want to look at this kind of like this bullish pennant, you would buy pullback to horizontal resistance here, which is above, which is congruent with this trend line. Right. Otherwise, you of course you have bids down here. Bids right. Have a stop loss just. Looks like it could be good. I need a couple more days with it. Need a couple more days with it. Data to do. 3-day looks all right, but that consolidation pattern after a movement to the downside has just as much potential to go down, honestly, my experience. The daily looks pretty okay. The daily does look pretty nice. But certain things have to happen to make it worth entering. So either this or this. Give it a stab here because that lets us manage risk pretty well. As far as that. That's 6% on an alt. Not bad. Par for the course. Wada Tar is not there yet for a trending trade. Neither is the Fisher Transform, but of course it's crossing up on the daily. Not getting the buy signal though. We're not an oversold. Called it really well. It called the top really well right here. Well, I don't know. Yeah, this daily cross was pretty good. This daily cross to enter. This daily cross was not. When does that confirm? On the 5th? That's not a good one. So about 17% on that one. And you're getting another daily cross. A little bit of hidden bullish divergence though. Lower low, higher low, higher low, lower low. Hidden bullish divergence. It could be good, man. Interesting. That's actually going to go on my watch list. And for you, good sir, Wally, Neo, the one, the only, the Bitcoin. Well, crazy happened. Why is the script now? For monkey? I try refreshing. There we go. Okay, so the last time I looked at this, my idea was, yeah, I just created an entry zone. So this is knife catching strategy number 1. Actually, this is the one that I used to use all the time before I started using. I still use it, but before I really started working with breakers and order blocks. So this is using average true range to create a zone of interest. So generally 2x or 2x ATR below and 1x ATR above. Stop loss 3 to 3.5x ATR below. So this analysis was giving me about a 4% buy zone. Ed McCracken, hey man, thanks for the $2, bro. He says, thanks for all the hard work, bro. Thank you so much, Ed. I highly appreciate that, man. Thank you. So this was telling us that we have this zone of interest right here, roughly from 19,000 or 193, 106 sats to 200,000 to so 200,500 to 193,000 sats, with a stop loss roughly around 190,000 sats. Now let's see if that is going to be congruent with. Yeah, because the last time we looked at Neo, we were at support right here. We did get, this is why I like time transformation. I really do. Because what is the trade a winner? No, it's not. But it tells us when to be out, right? It tells us when to be out, right? When a trade doesn't go in our favor. Sometimes you got to take chances. So you're at support, you get a time transformation crossover. A couple days ago, this did look pretty good. It's because I remember old boy asking for Neo and we looked at Neo. It didn't end up panning out. And what do we got right now? We got time transformation crossing under, telling you to be out of the trade on this candle close. Most people would have panic sold down here. You would actually only be taking about a 3 to 4% loss instead of 5 to 6% loss. So those numbers matter, man. Those numbers matter over time. Now, I want to see if that is going to be congruent with. Yeah, it is. No, not really. Right there. It works pretty good. It's pretty good. So this is the, okay. So at this part of the market cycle, we form this bearish order block, boom, short, and resistance, consolidation inside the bearish order block, expansion, right? So it's broken, the resistance is broken through cleanly, and then you buy pullbacks into that zone, right? You buy here, 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 here. Got a good trade. Fisher tells you to be out this candle right here. Trade. Telling you to potentially that there's a trade here. Didn't end up panning out. You got what I really like about this order block as well as if you were waiting for Wadatar to confirm. It confirmed here, and then it told you to definitely go here, right? So this is a trending trade, right? This is a daily trending trade, right? Wadatar is green and bullish. trading above the explosion level right there, buy. And what is time transformation doing? Crosses above the 0 line right there on that candle. Confirms. That is a good entry right here. You pull back down into your bullish order or your bullish breaker. So maybe you double up and you have a good 10 to 13% trade on the table. Or if you were using your exit indicator, you have a nice 6 to 7% trade. Juicy. Good trade. So, yeah, I don't really. That's kind of it as far as bull breaker goes. Really not one down here. So, I mean, the only thing we can now target is an SR flip, right? Which would be this level, right? So we've constructed this zone. You'll also have 18,000 or 185,000 sats, but below that, then you're talking about the market low at 170,000 sats, man. So that's the setup that I got right now. These are the other two potential interesting areas to buy. So I don't think we're there yet. What happens if we don't get here? Well, if we reclaim this level, that would be quite nice. So break, pullback, buy, continuation, and you're targeting the range high. And you're using ATR on the day that you buy to tell you where to take some initial profit and update your stop loss to break even. Probably would have you taking profit somewhere. Got maybe a 9 to 10% trade. What's the current value of ATR? Current value of ATR is 11,216 sats. About 5 or 6% is where you take about 50% profit and move your stop loss to break even. Or I would, excuse me. All right, so let's get back over to the live scene with Mr. Bitcoin here. Done anything for a few minutes. Ask side stacking up. Buy side isn't that impressive. Side shift a little bit. I got really bullish there for about 10 minutes. Things reaching themselves back in equilibrium. Yeah, we can see the 1 minute short stepping in. The 5 minute shorts will step in. This will switch back and forth. But what we're really looking for, Reyes made a very good point. Really looking for 5 minutes for short-term analysis. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that they had that. They recommend the level that you should buy at. They say you should buy at $5,312.93. Very precise. I like that. Okay, man. Let's get up with the. Let's see here. Le Revel Conspirationiste asks, do I look at monthly charts and indicators sometimes? Yeah, I don't really look at the monthly for Bitcoin too much in my analysis. I'll go over it. I prefer the weekly and the 3-day. They give better signals. That was cool seeing $3 million getting eaten up on the sell wall. Cryptomeister says, I rode ZERP hard from Thanksgiving 2017 through December. Hell yeah. La Frenchy CG, what website is that? This is a cryptometer.io. And the daily candle closed. There we go. Sorry, a minute late. How did we close the day? Not good. Closed below the high. Still a lower high. We're looking for, guys. Oh, high. Confirmation. Bearish block. And really we were looking for the daily close above. Since that did not happen, short stays on. What tool is that for the buy zone? Cryptomeister asks. So it's something that I developed. I go over it on the stream. I've gone over it a bunch of times. I go over it in the premium webinars too. It's utilizing multiples of average true range at a critical level of support or resistance to establish a zone of interest, right? Like, what is the zone that you would want to buy in? Very similarly to using a bullish or bearish order block. Rakin, Cryptocurrency College says, what the fuck is Heaven Protocol? It was the thing, man. What are we looking at? Haven? Yeah, Haven. Banana Man TV, please, please. I don't know what you're pleasing about, bro. Wally says, I did a dollar cost average earlier today on NEO with some very basic beginner technical analysis. So I'm looking to see how off I was. I don't think you did poorly. Whoops. I don't think you did poorly at all, man. So earlier today, so it was my understanding that you like to look at things like weekly and monthly. So when you say earlier today, okay, here's when the day started. So, and we're roughly, I think, the same time zone. So somewhere around here. Clearly, you had foreseen my squiggly line, and we're buying squiggly line support. I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, you know, like, okay, so one thing that I can see here on the hourly, you know, you've got a bearish Heikin-Ashi trend, but you're always going to have a bearish Heikin-Ashi trend when you're trying to catch a bottom, is that you can see that the momentum to the downside isn't, like, really starts dying off here. You know, you can see that the candles really get little. And then when you see, it doesn't always happen, but it's worth the stab usually, is this Darth Maul candle, this long-legged doji. Usually you do get a movement one way or the other from a candle like that, right? And more often than not, it is a significant movement. When I say significant, that depends on volatility, the underlying volatility of the market we're talking about, or the asset that we're talking about, in the opposite direction. Excuse me. Okay, every 4 trades open on BitMEX, all of them. That is good to see. 1 trade open on Deribit, and it is a little red. Too red, a little red. We just broke above my average entry Deribit. So average entry of 53.14 on Deribit, and currently price is trading at 55 on Deribit. So we'll see. Give this a couple hours. I mean, really, I need to wait until the next daily candle close, but I can relook at price at 2 o'clock in the morning. Decision hour close. Yeah, I don't think you did too bad, man. I don't know what your metrics were, Wally, so that way it would be difficult for me to state, but Christian Zeladon asks if I can check out Voozy. I'd love to, my mate, but I gotta go. It's 6 minutes after. Edward Park, good to see you, man. Cryptomeister says, premium then? I recommend it. Ed McCracken says, best trading for me ever. Hit Walton Chain, bat, engine, and pulled out with profits. Did look back. Huge step in the right direction. Baby steps. Right on, man. Very happy to see you. Very happy to hear that. So did you? Okay. All right, guys. I got to go. Got to spend a little bit of time with my kiddos. And then I got to come back and reevaluate. Everything's good. All my positions look good. If you guys are in the group, we're doing great, man. Jerry Pack, got to run. Thank you, sir. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, guys. So, yeah, guys. So it's time to get on that old dusty trail. Time to hit the dusty old trail. So let's head right on over here, guys. All right, thank you so much for joining me for another Saturday evening edition of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I have been your host, lead analyst, and senior mentor at Kraken Cryptocurrency, Justin Wise. Thank you so much for spending your evening with me. Now, listen, guys, this content, not free. Wait, but we just watched it for free. Of course you did, but spiritually, it's not free. So please do your part. If you found value from this stream, please hit that share button. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And the bell because, YouTube doesn't like us or anything. You can, of course, come over to twitch.krakencryptocurrency.com if you'd like to support us on that platform as well. Always love to interact and engage with individuals on Twitch. Tomorrow will be an Easter stream, guys. I will be here from 5 to 7, as much as my family might not like it, but I'm going to be here because this is what I do for a living. I take it seriously, so I always take your questions, comments, and concerns seriously. If you ever want to talk about anything, feel free to drop me a DM in discord.krakencryptocurrency.com if you're not already a member. And if you would like help building your own strategy, learning how to trade profitably as I do, learning how to discipline yourself emotionally and psychologically, as well as getting access to our private Discord community, in addition to our general free Discord community, having access to my indicators and strategies, and the trade setups and signals from the traders and analysts at Kraken Cryptocurrency, you can, of course, check the link at the top of the screen, premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. I'd love to work more closely with you. Until tomorrow, guys, trade safely, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, please leave them in the comment section down below. Trade safely, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Happy Easter to everybody.